Hello everybody. It's JPO here with the Purple Posy. I'm here to do a little painting for you guys. I'm going to be working on this, well first of all, I don't know if I said it, I'm JPO. I'm the owner and artist of the Purple Posy. I'm a content creator for Dixie Belle. I'm a coach and a mentor for a private membership group, Painting Over Borders. That is all about me. We're gonna work on a little secretary desk that it actually is from my daughter's room, and she's got different colors in there now, and it was real girly and pretty with flowers and all the kind of stuff on there. Hey Dixie Belle. But I've decided I'm gonna go super boho, and if she doesn't like it, then sorry. I need to do something super boho. I've finished up a couple of classy, elegant pieces here lately, so I need some color and all the fun stuff. So what I've done to prepare this, I did not use white lightning to clean it, and I'll tell you why. This piece had been previously painted with a different paint brand and waxed, and I have found with the white lightning is so good. It's so strong and powerful. It eats through that wax like butter. And then I have all this like the chalk type paint under it that I have to either wipe off, sand off, or just seal over it and, start painting. So I went ahead and I cleaned really well with vinegar water, and I threw a really thin coat of white boss on it. So that's why I did not use white lightning, because it's so strong. It would have eaten right through that wax. It would have given me more problems to paint, honestly, to be quite honest with you. I love white lightning. It's so good. It's such a good cleaner. But that's all I've done. And then a coat, like I said, a really thin coat of, good morning, of white boss. I'm so sorry if I'm moving you around. My thing seems to be a little wobbly. I'm trying to figure out the best way to place you guys so you can see what I'm doing. I pulled a bunch of colors. I have honestly not 100% sure what I'm gonna do with this thing. And so I just pulled a bunch of colors that I thought would be real pretty together. I scrolled through Pinterest super quick to try to get inspired. And we're just gonna see what happens. I've got all my brushes. I've actually got some like little putty knives, palette knives. I got my palette knife over there, vinegar water. I got stencils. I got all the things. So we're just gonna have a little bit of fun there. I think what I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna make the main color the blues. My daughter's I had a pillow in here. Yeah, she's got a lot of blues. She's got pinks and yellows and purples and white and a little bit of orange, but I don't want to go that crazy. So I pulled some blues, some yellows, and then just a little pop of pink that I think I'm gonna use my palette knife on. So I think we'll just get started with the Dixie Belle blue. Dixie Belle blue is a really bright turquoise, well, maybe a muted type of turquoise color. It's real pretty. I'm going to, I'm a little bit unprepared. I have my vinegar water with me, so I'm going to use vinegar water. But before I paint anything, I do mist my paintbrushes. I start with a damp paintbrush. Not super drippy, not overly wet, just mist it, swirl it around in your hand, and then you're good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and open, I've got Yankee blue here, real pretty, like a dusty type of blue. Well, we have a dusty blue, but it's like a gray blue. I've got that here as well. I'm gonna go ahead and get that ready, because I think what I'm gonna do is the darker blue on the edges, the Dixie Belle blue in the centers, and then we're gonna maybe do some fun stuff with the palette knife and these different colors on the edges. Maybe use some vinegar water, maybe a few drips. I don't know. All right, so here we go. Let's go in. I'll quit jabbering. I'll get you guys in as close as I can. Is anybody painting with me today? Or got any projects going on? All right, so this should actually, I'm gonna say I'm only gonna need one coat. I can already tell because it's got this boss on there. It's like a primer, and so it's covering really, really well. So that'll be good. We can get a good amount done today. So we're going in right now. This is the Dixie Belle blue, a pretty turquoise color, and I'm using a flat mini. These are my go-to brushes. Got so much junk up here. And vinegar water. And I know somebody's gonna ask, my vinegar ratio is 50-50. It's 50% white distilled vinegar, 50% water. That is my ratio. And I'm only using the vinegar water because I forgot to grab my other. However, this might give me a really cool look that I wasn't intending on. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start blending in a little bit. So I'm gonna spritz it just a little bit. I'm not gonna worry about the top right now. I don't know for sure what I'm gonna do. I always use the same brush when I blend. I never change brushes unless I'm going from like a red to a yellow. And even then sometimes I don't, it just depends. But I'm not putting very much on, as you can see. And we're going in with Yankee Blue now. And we're just gonna hit these edges. Now I love the boho style because it's not perfect and my painting is not perfect and I don't pretend like it is. So my soft blended edges are going to be a little bit different than some might call a soft blended edge. But that's just my style because that's boho and it's not perfect. So the key to blending though is to keep your paint wet. And you don't want to start with too much paint. You can always add to. It's easier to add to than it is to take away. I'm just going to come across here and blend it out a little bit more. Now we're just going to play. We're just going to play today, really. I don't have a super major set plan. All right. Now I'm just using the as I'm going sideways like this. I'm not going straight across like this. It makes it easier on your brush strokes if you use the sides of your brush. So I don't know if you can tell because I'm going so fast, but that is how it's semi-smooth. It's a semi-smooth blend. I don't stress about it. I think I'm gonna add a little bit in the center here. Just gonna add a little bit. Just a little bit. Just for a little surprise. Now the vinegar water, what it does, it makes this really cool effect. So if I wanted to, I could, well, which I probably will do. When I'm done with this, I'll probably spritz the entire thing very, very lightly with the vinegar water. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna pull the paint, it's gonna make the paint separate and give it almost its own little distressed look. Let's blend it out. Okay, that looks a little dirty and I like that. It's not super clean. And I like that. Okay. Now, let's continue down with the Yankee Blue. Let's see if I can get you guys lower. My ring light does not go very low, so it's a little bit annoying. Here, we'll just do this. And I'll sit down on the floor. I'm sorry if I'm sniffling. I'm getting over something, I don't even know. It's been almost 2 weeks that I've had this. It's kind of annoying. Okay, so I'm trying to let that dry up there just a little bit. So we're just gonna come down here and get a little paint on here. And then I'm gonna grab putty knife or a palette knife or an artist, I don't even know what they're called. And we're gonna come in with that and we're gonna play with some pastel-y type colors. I'm gonna have to sit back on my bench. This isn't gonna work. So I'm letting that dry a little bit. I'm gonna hit it with the heat gun when I get this little lip done. So what I like about using the same brush is, one, it helps with the blending process, I feel, but two, so as I'm painting this lip, if I get too deep like this, it pulls a little bit of that Dixie Belle blue into what I'm painting. And so it gives it a little bit more, it's not just a straight color, you know what I mean? Like a straight Yankee blue. So it's a little bit interesting. So I can see a little bit here. Also, when you're blending, I don't know if I said, you gotta make sure you keep your paint wet. If you feel your paintbrush start to drag, you need to mist it. Don't power wash it, just mist it. Okay. I think that's good. Now let me hit this with the heat gun and we can start playing with the palette knife. I think I'm gonna come in with, let's try some sea glass. Let's try some sea glass. Let's just try some sea glass. Palette knife, see, that's what I thought. I was doubting myself. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my palette knife. That's probably too much. Dip it in my lid. Right now we're on sea glass. And let's just scrape it. Let's just scrape it down. Get a chippy kind of look going on here. This is what's fun about not having a plan, is you guys get to, if this is an epic fail, you'll learn from my mistake, right? Let me grab some, I want that to, let's spread that out a little bit. Also, it's just fun to play with different tools when you're painting. It's just fun to grab, I mean, shoot, use your fingers, I mean, do something different. I've actually kind of done this with, I've wet my finger and rubbed it along the edges, almost like a watercolor type of thing. And it looks really pretty, it turned out really good. So I'm just spritzing as best as I can that one little area just to get the paint moving. And we're gonna go all along this edge randomly. We're gonna come in with multiple colors. We're gonna do a whole bunch of different colors so it looks like the edges are super worn and they've been this way for, it's been painted 100 times. And your kids knocked it with their Barbies and their cars and all the things. It's weathered and worn. And it's gonna a little bit. I'm not 100% sure why I have these. I think I was going to try to become a canvas artist at one point and decided I was really bad at it. Went to Hobby Lobby and spent like an ungodly amount of money on these kind of tools and the brushes, and they're brand new over there in my studio buffet storage. So that's fun. So there's no rhyme or reason as to how I'm putting this on here. I'm just throwing it on here. We'll spritz it now and then to get that paint to spread. Shouldn't get it away. There we go. So this thing was previously painted like in an ombre of pink and purple. The legs were yellow. I like some floral stamps in the center. So this will be way different than she's used to. She's my toughest client, I would say. If you guys have painted for your kids, you should know, I'm sure. Some are better than others, but she will not be afraid to tell me that she hates it. But that's okay. She never uses it. And this is super runny, so I'm just pulling it out. Pulling it out. I think I want to come in with pink next. What do you guys think? I've got some pink, some peony. That'd be fun, right? If you're just jumping on, we started with Dixie Belle blue. We blended in some Yankee blue. Oh, I just scratched that. Oops. We blended in some Yankee blue on the edges, and now we're using sea glass with a putty knife. And we're just playing. We're just playing in the pink. I think I want to run right here. It sounds like I'm scraping the paint off, but I'm not, I promise. Oh, a little run right there. Not too much though. I'm just going to stop it with my heat gun real quick. I'll make sure all this is dry before I go on with the next color. I'm not really looking for a blend. We're doing more layers. All right, so let's see. Let's go in with some. Let's go in with the peony. What do we think? The peony. All right, we're gonna go in with peony. Peony. I always say it wrong. Sorry. Peony. Real bright pink, fuchsia color. And try to get some up on the lid, and just work out of the lid. Okay. Here we go. I think this is almost out. Sure is, it's almost out. All right, peony. How pretty is that? Okay, let's add, and we don't want to add too much. If we add too much though, we can layer back over it, right? Because we're just playing, right? We're just playing. Nobody freak out. Don't freak out on me. It's gonna be pretty. Pretty cool. Boho cool. Add a little here. We're not getting picky about it, right? We're just adding. I just really want to show you guys all the different things that you can do. There's like, I do a lot of what I guess people call boho blending, but you can go boho and super colorful and do cool stuff with more than just your paintbrush. Use a palette knife, right? Use a palette knife. And a little bit, bring this down a little bit here. And if we don't like it, it's layers. We just go back over it with something else and make it not so crazy and over the top, right? You could use this, you could do this with I do have a palette knife, a putty knife that I use all of the time. It's lost. You don't have to have one of these little fancy things. You can just use a regular putty knife. Just generally what I use. So I think with the sea glass, the bright pink, and then a couple of different tones of yellows. I even have a pink, I even brought down pink champagne. A lighter pink. It'll be super fun. Just something really fun and different. I'm not putting a whole lot on. I don't think I've showed y'all. When I go into my paint lid, I think that's about what I'm putting on. So you don't need a whole lot. Just like with the blending, it's easier to add to. It's easier to add to. Let's try to come up here. Now I'm just using the flat part to mush it out. So this is flat on my piece. You can see the pink like that. Okay. I think that's good. I think that's enough of the bright pink. Let's move on. Let's move on. See how much more fun we can have. Let's see. Let's go with some lemonade. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Lemonade is really light yellow, as you can imagine. Real pretty yellow. It's almost gonna blend in with this sea glass, I feel. It's been a minute since I've opened the lemonade, apparently. All right. Coming in hot with the lemonade. I just got a little bit right here. Let's come over this yellow a little bit. Actually, I need a heat gun. Hang on, just one sec. One of the other things that I brought out was the, I don't know if y'all have tried these or seen these, the Silkscreen stencils, Bells and Whistles Silkscreen stencils. This is a mandala, and they've got all kinds of cool designs in here, like borders and stuff, and I kind of almost thought about, when I get this all chippy and crazy, putting something on here and then taking a sander, or not a sander, sanding sponge over it and scuffing it up, or doing this kind of the same technique over it, because when you use that Silkscreen stencil, it's got a little bit of a, it'll have a little bit of a raise to it. So I could just lightly drag, you know, some paint colors over it. That might be cool. Maybe we can do that. Maybe we can do that before we hop off of here if we have time. And I can just blast it with a heat gun and we'll just keep going. All right, I'm not gonna put too much of the yellow. We may do one little drippy of the yellow, I don't know. Whoops. Whoopsie. Slow your roll, Jacob. Slow your roll. Getting a little excited here. Let's bring this down a little bit. Okay. So I just scraped the paint off down to the purple right here. Boom, fixed. Fixed. Now you can't see it. Getting a little crazy. This is sharper than the putty knife that I use. The putty knife that I use has a beveled edge, and so it makes it a little bit more easier to not scrape your paint. It's pretty sharp. If you guys have used these before. I want to get to the other colors. I'm trying to hurry. You know what? Maybe we'll throw a little in the center. Let's throw a little in the center. I'm grabbing that vinegar water as it drips, and bringing it back up here. There we go. I think that's good. I think that's enough of this yellow. I think I want to come in with the pink champagne and make it a little bit even more lighter. Okay, pink champagne. Pink champagne. Real pretty light pink. I don't know if you guys can see that. All right, we're gonna cover up some of this peony. I'm not a super huge fan of it. It's pretty, but I think it's too much. Too much. So we'll cover it up just a tad. We didn't get much on this edge over here, did we? Nope. Maybe the other way. Add some over here. I'm just kind of trying to clean it off, really. It's on either side of the knife. Cleaning it off. Spreading it out. I'm so sorry about my nose. I really want to get to the Silkscreen stencil. I really do. Because I think it'll be really fun to put the stencil on there, put it on pretty thick, and you can actually leave your paint sitting out for a little bit before you use the stencil. I wouldn't say you could use like a sea spray or something on there unless you just put a really tiny amount in there. But if you leave your paint sitting out, it'll thicken up just a tad and it'll make it a little bit more of a raised stencil. These Silkscreen stencils already do have a little bit of a raise to them. But if you're wanting more, that might be an option for you. This is kind of a hot mess right here. I kind of like it though. Not gonna lie, I kind of like it. Let's do a stencil, guys. Let's do a stencil. We'll blast it with the heat gun. And then basically we'll just do like we did here. We'll take some light colors and we'll just drag the thing over it. Right? Now the question is which one? Because these are all such cool designs. 50-50 vinegar water, yep, 50-50. All right, so these are the new Silkscreen stencils from the Bells and Whistles line by Dixie Belle. This is the mandala, so pretty. So it comes with your little applicator thing. Do not throw these away. You can reuse these up to 10 times. These will actually, I feel weird. These will actually stick to your furniture. So you don't have to tape it down. They stick. You go over it with your paint. And, it's too big. Okay, we're going with this one. I like this one. We're gonna cut that border off. And we're gonna go with that one. Okay, now these also I love because you can cut them up. design them how you want to. All right, now, when I place this on here, I'm gonna save the backing, okay? Because when I'm done with this live, I'm going to go immediately to the sink. I'm gonna put this in the sink and I'm gonna clean it off. I just have like a soft bristle toothbrush that I just gently, with my warm water, not hot, just warm, and I clean this Silkscreen out. And then you place it sticky side up and let it dry. Once it's dry, you put this little backing back on it, you're good to go. That's the Silkscreen 101. Super fast version for you. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna try to get this as center as I can. I am not centered with the piece, but what's great is I can pull it off as needed. So right here is the hole of the knob. No matter where I put it in the center, it's going to cover up that knob, but it'll be okay. It'll be fine. Now normally I would pour my paint out onto a plate, but I don't have a plate in here. So let's do, I've got a mess. Let's do, you know what? I think I want to do lemonade. Let's do the lemonade. How about that? How about that? Get you up close. And I'm just going to work out of the lid. I'm going to work out of the lid. Maybe. Okay. So, pretend this is a plate. I've got my paint on. You're just gonna dip it, and you don't need a super whole bunch. I probably got even too much there. Just start with like a little bit of amount, and you're just gonna press it into the Silkscreen. You're gonna smooth it all out. Make sure you get all of the Silkscreen covered. Now this has got a little bump where that knob goes, so it may not be crisp. What's crazy cool about these stencils is how crisp the designs are. I mean, these little bitty lines in here, when I pull this off, you guys are gonna just be prepared to be blown away. They're so cool. You could never get this with a regular stencil that you have to tape down. Although I love those stencils. I do love them for other reasons. I just finished up a piece with one that turned out absolutely beautiful, but these have such intricate detail. You would never be able to get it with a regular stencil. These Silkscreen stencils are amazing. So amazing. Don't throw these away, remember, because you're going to reuse them. Very next application. All right. Boom. How pretty is that, y'all? OMG. How cool, right? Look how crisp and clean that is. Okay, so since I can't get to my sink right now, I'm going to take a baby wipe. Okay, just a regular baby wipe. And I'm going to cover this up. And then I'm going to douse it with vinegar water so it doesn't dry up on me. And then I'm going to set it upside down on the floor. Just like so. Okay? Just like so. Because you don't want that to dry up on you too much. I won't be on here much longer. Alright. How pretty is that? Alright, let's see. So we've got yellow here. Let's go back to that sea glass. I'm running out of time. I'm gonna go fast. Okay, so since this is such a, I mean, it's raised, but it's not raised a whole lot. I dipped it into the paint lid, and then I scraped it back on the paint jar, and I'm gonna barely, you can't even really see it, hang on. Okay, so here's about what I've got on there. Can y'all see that? And just carefully, there we go. So the key is to hold this more to the side. Don't put your paint on the edge like we were here, going like this. Put it more on the side. That's the key. Got a glob there. It's okay. It's okay. Let's go with a different color. Let's try the Yankee blue, shall we? Yeah. Y'all should see down here. It is a mess. Y'all should see under me. It's a hot mess. Okay, I'm just gonna wipe this off a bit. Okay, like that. Oh, I'm nervous with this one. It's a darker color. Okay, just kind of hitting those raised spots. Got a little heavy right there. But what it's going to look like is this is going to look super distressed to match the rest of the top here. Because that's too clean, right? It's too clean and crisp to match what we've got going on. So I'm just trying to hit these raised parts. You know what I think I'm going to do is right before I let you guys go, we're going to do peony. We're just going to go for it. Okay? Is that okay with you guys? We'll just go for it. Because you know, if I did this and I absolutely hated it, it didn't even turn out anything like I thought in my mind, it's just paint. I sand it down and I start all over again, right? It's just paint. Let's grab some peony and then I'll let you guys go. I'll bring you guys in close and then I'll let y'all go. And I could still, if I wanted to, take a sanding sponge to it and give it even more of a distressed type look. All right. Be careful with this one. This is a crazy color. Yes, yes. Oh, I love it. When I bring you in, you'll see. I don't know if you can see right now. It probably looks the same. I love it. Okay, so I'm just wiping back, so there's like not very much on here. that's good. I think that's all I want to do. Oh my goodness. Yep. Yep. I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it. All right, let me pull you guys in and turn you guys around so you guys can see. What do I got here? Maybe. All right. So here's what we've got. Crazy boho style. Boho like J-Po. Okay, so we've got Dixie Belle blue. We went in with Yankee blue on the edges. We've got some pink champagne, some lemonade, some peony. Look at that. OMG. Can you guys see that detail? And just kind of hit the raised parts. So it looks very chippy and worn. Look at that detail, guys. That's the Silkscreen stencil. Bells and Whistles Silkscreen stencil. Okay, love it. I realize style's not for everybody, but hey, we gotta play in the paint, right? If you have any questions, please feel free to shoot me a message. You could tag me in the comments. I'd love it if you head on over to my page, give me a Purple Posy. How will you seal all that? So this is going in my daughter's bedroom, more than likely, so it will be completely gator hided. All gator hide. And since it's got some darker colors in it, if you have a problem with streaking with gator hide, what I recommend is initially going in with Easy Peasy spray wax, and Easy Peasy spray wax your piece, at least the darker parts of your piece if you've got like a navy or a black. Initially seal it with this Easy Peasy. Shake it up real good till you can't hear the water anymore. Spray it on there, spread it around. Let that dry, and then go in with your gator hide. You should have no problem whatsoever. But I will probably gator hide this since it's going in a 5-year-old bedroom. All right, guys, I'm gonna hop off of here. I've been on here too long. And I'll see you guys then. Bye. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video and want to see more, be sure to subscribe and click that bell icon to get notified when new videos are posted. Also, I typically put out a blog to show how I finish these pieces of furniture. If you head on over to my website, thepurpleposy.com, and sign up for the mailing list, you'll get notified when those blogs are posted as well.